Good morning, mathematicians. We are looking at our Unit 7, Lesson 6, Cooldown. This is about the hierarchy of quadrilaterals, which when we think about quadrilaterals, we know that prefix quad means four, and lateral means side. So we're looking at four-sided shapes. Now this cooldown is specifically about rhombus, right? We are asked to explain why a rhombus is always a parallelogram, and it encourages us to use the grid if it's helpful. So I want you to notice with my hand, so yes, this is not perfect, but I have tried to show two different sets of parallel lines. So I have two different sets of parallel lines going one diagonal direction and two different sets of parallel lines going the other diagonal direction. Now inside this, I see a rhombus, right? So that is a rhombus that I have just outlined in red. Now, of course, when we do this drawing with our hands, especially when I'm doing it on a Chromebook touchscreen, it's not perfect, but we see it clearly enough to communicate the point that we need to. This rhombus is a parallelogram because we see those opposite sides are parallel, right? Those opposite sides, if we continue them forever as I'm seeing, let me switch here, right? And as I'm seeing here, if these continued, they would not touch. They would go on forever. Now that red shape inside is specifically what we're talking about, the rhombus, but we're saying if those opposite sides continued, they could go on forever and never touch. And that truly is why a rhombus is always a parallelogram. So now I'm going to switch and we are going to bring our color to a nice blue. And let's go ahead and type out a word answer that's going to explain the thinking that we just did on the grid, but also as we talked it out. So we're going to say that a rhombus is always a parallelogram because its opposite sides are parallel. If we draw a rhombus on a grid, I'll say we, keep that pronoun the same, we can see that the opposite sides will never meet even if the lines are extended in both directions. So boys and girls, of course, Illustrative does like to ask us oftentimes to explain or to show. This one specifically did not use that wordage, but we technically have done that. We have shown our answer on the grid, but we have explained it in blue. And truly, boys and girls, between those two things, we are clearly thinking about the hierarchy of quadrilaterals and really what it means to be a parallelogram.